I found out my best friend was dating my crush from an Instagram story. Not from her. Not from him. An Instagram story. And that's not even the worst part. A bro code violation. So I need to tell you about the worst month of my junior year. And it all started with an Instagram story at 11:47 p.m. on a random Tuesday. My best friend's name is, well, let's call him Jake. We'd been boys since middle school. Like the kind of friends who had each other's backs no matter what, played on the same teams and could communicate with just a look across the room. He knew everything about me. Every embarrassing moment, every insecurity, every crush. Especially the crush on Mia. I'd liked Mia since sophomore year when she transferred to our school. She was into photography, always had her camera around her neck, and had this laugh that made everyone around her start laughing too. She was smart, funny, and didn't care about the usual high school popularity stuff. She was just real. Jake knew. Of course he knew. I'd spent countless nights on our group Discord talking about her. Bro, she actually laughed at my joke today. What does that mean? She said she liked my hoodie. Should I wear it more? He'd listened to all of it, hyped me up, told me I should just shoot my shot. The three of us had the same friend group, so we hung out constantly. Lunch table, weekend hangouts, group gaming sessions. Mia and I had gotten closer over the months. We had inside jokes. She'd send me photography stuff at random times. I thought maybe, possibly, something could happen. I was working up the courage to ask her out. Then came that Tuesday night. I was scrolling through Instagram before bed. Classic mistake. And Jake's story popped up. It was a photo taken from the passenger seat of someone's car. You could see the dashboard, the dark street outside, and in the reflection of the window, Mia, sitting in the driver's seat, smiling at the camera, and Jake's hand was holding hers on top of the gear shift. The caption just said, "Best night, fire emoji." My stomach dropped so fast I thought I'd throw up. I sat there staring at my phone for probably 10 minutes straight, refreshing, wondering if I'd misunderstood. Maybe they were just hanging out as friends? But no, you don't hold hands like that with just a friend. And he'd posted it 7 minutes ago. I checked Mia's story. Nothing. I checked Jake's recent posts. Nothing. I went back through his recent stories. Nothing obvious, but now I was seeing things differently. The late night drives from last week, was that with her? The good vibes only post from a few days ago? How long had this been happening? So, my hands were shaking as I typed out a message. Yo, is that Mia in your story? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, I got a reply, "We need to talk, bro." That's when I knew it was real. I mean, if it was nothing, he would have just said, yeah, we were all hanging out. The fact that he needed to talk meant this was something he'd been hiding. I barely slept that night. The next day at school, Jake found me before first period. He looked uncomfortable, hands shoved in his pockets. So, I should have told you sooner. Mia and I have been hanging out, like just us two, for a couple weeks now. A couple weeks? I wanted to tell you, man, but I didn't know how. I know you were into her, but you know I was into her? I couldn't believe he was saying this so casually. Jake, I've been talking about her for months. You literally were the one telling me to go for it. I know. I know, but then she asked me to help her with that photography project, and we just started talking more, and I don't know, man. It just happened. But it did happen, and you still didn't tell me. That was the part that hurt the most. Not that she liked him instead of me. Rejection happens, I'd survive. But the secrecy, the bro code violation. Every time we'd hung out in the past few weeks, he'd had this secret. Every time he was hyping me up about Mia, he was already dating her. I was gonna tell you. I just didn't know when or how. You're my best friend. I didn't want it to be weird. So, you thought finding out from an Instagram story would be less weird? He didn't have an answer for that. The worst part came next. Look, you never actually asked her out. I waited. I gave you time. But you kept saying maybe next week or I'm working up to it. At some point, man, I had to make my move. And that hit different, because he wasn't completely wrong. The thing about losing your best friend is it affects everything. It's not like we could just never speak again. We had the same friend group, the same lunch table, played on the same teams. I saw him every single day, and I saw them together. Her wearing his jacket, him carrying her camera bag, inside jokes I wasn't part of anymore. All the things I'd imagined doing with her, he was actually doing. Our mutual friends were in an impossible position. Some of them said Jake violated bro code. Others said I'd had my chance and didn't take it, so it was fair game. Both things could be true, but that didn't make it hurt less. The worst part? Mia acted like nothing had changed between us. She'd still say hi, still send me photography stuff sometimes. Like she had no idea this was weird for me. Or maybe she just didn't care. Maybe she never saw me that way to begin with. Jake kept trying to maintain the friendship like normal. Want to run some games this weekend? He'd text. But how was I supposed to game with him and watch him text her the whole time? Listen to him talk about their dates? I started pulling away. I found different people to sit with at lunch. I made excuses when the group hung out. Honestly, it was just easier than pretending everything was fine. About 2 weeks into this mess, Jake confronted me in the parking lot after school. Dude, you're being childish. I'm allowed to date her. You never even told her how you felt. And that's what really got me. He was right. I never made a move. I'd spent months overthinking everything, waiting for the perfect moment, just being scared of rejection. Meanwhile, Jake just went for it. You're right. You're allowed to date whoever you want. But you're not allowed to act like I don't have a reason to be pissed. You hid it from me for weeks, man. That's not what best friends do. What was I supposed to do? Ask your permission? No. But you could have told me before you made your move. You could have been honest with me instead of letting me find out from Instagram. That's all I'm saying. He didn't know what to say to that. Here's where I'm supposed to tell you we had a big heart-to-heart and worked it out, right? That's not what happened. Jake and Mia dated for about 3 months before it ended. Apparently, the guilt made things weird for him, and she felt caught in the middle of our friendship drama. They broke up right before spring break. Jake tried to reconnect after that. It's over now, so we're good, right? But that was the thing. I didn't want to just go back to normal. I'd realized during those months apart that the friendship had issues I'd ignored. He'd always been the competitive one, even about things that shouldn't be competitions. I just never thought he'd compete for the same girl. We're cool now, I guess. We dap each other up in the hallways. Sometimes we're at the same party and it's fine. But we're not best friends anymore. We don't have that trust. And honestly, I'm okay with that. This whole situation taught me a few things. First, bro code is real, but it's also complicated. Jake technically didn't do anything wrong by asking out a girl who wasn't mine, but the way he handled it, hiding it, lying by omission, that broke the code. It's not about ownership of people. It's about respect and honesty. Second, hesitation costs you opportunities. I spent months building up the courage to ask Mia out, and in that time someone else did. That's on me. If you like someone, shoot your shot. The worst they can say is no. But if you never ask, the answer is already no. Third, not all friendships survive high school, and that's actually okay. People change, priorities shift. Someone who was your day one at 13 might not be your guy at 17. Fourth, finding out on social media is brutal. Like, if there's anything you take from this story, if you're hiding something from your best friend, don't let them find out from an Instagram story. Just don't. Have the uncomfortable conversation. And finally, you survive these things. When it was happening, I thought I'd lost everything. My best friend, my crush, my social circle. But I didn't. I made new friends. I got over Mia, took a while, but I did. I learned who my real friends were, the ones who checked on me when I pulled away. So if you're going through something similar right now, whether it's a friend dating your crush, or any kind of betrayal that makes you feel like everything's falling apart, just know it gets better. Not immediately, not easily, but eventually. You'll be okay, I promise. What do you think? Have you ever been through something like this? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk about the messy parts of being a teenager.